Greetings and salutations, my fellow Stuffketeers. Goldy coming at you with another Stuff and Things review. And man, what a week this has been. First off, it was America's independence. We celebrated 4th of July. But before that, on the 2nd, Spiderman Far From Home was released. And I honestly can't say enough about the film. It is like reading the absolutely perfect 4-issue Spider-Man arc in comics. It's like a beautiful 4-issue Mysterio arc, and it's just such a great film. If you haven't seen it, run out to your local Cineplex and go see that flick. And we're going to be looking at the Build-A-Figure from the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Far From Home Wave, or Spider-Man Wave, I believe the second wave of the year. And we're going to be looking at the Build-A-Figure, which is one of the elements, Molten Man, he's melting down, he's Molten Man. Now, he's one of the elements. He's not the Molten Man that we know from the Marvel Comics, I'm guessing. But the elements are attacking Earth, and Mysterio needs the help of Spider-Man, and Nick Fury needs the help to stop these elements from destroying our Earth. And man, the movie just so good. So good. And is this Build-A-Figure good? Yes, he is, actually. This Build-A-Figure is actually pretty awesome. And what's funny is like I remember seeing the concept art for this thing, or like the original art for it, and I was just kind of like, meh. But after getting him in my hands and tooling with it and messing around with it, it really is a super awesome Build-A-Figure. Like, seriously, it's really great. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at the Molten Man Build-A-Figure from the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Far From Home Wave. And where do I get my figures from? Well, I get my figures from Mr. Wayne's Pop Culture Collectibles in Westmont, Illinois. They may still have some of the Far From Home Wave. I would always call first to check. But that's where I got these guys from. And let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. We're gonna get him in a kind of standing tall pose so you can get an idea of the actual size of Molten Man, which is, he's actually a pretty good size, and he's got some really interesting articulation. And he's got some nifty plastic stuff going on with him. We'll get into that in a moment, my fellow Stuffketeers, but let's get him standing up as straight as we can get him, which is about here. So Build-A-Figure wise, he's about the size of maybe the Juggernaut, or, a little bit bigger than Abomination. And he's a good size. We're just going to go ahead and put Mr. Beck in there for a second so you can get an idea of the size of the Molten Man. And now we're going to go ahead and put Mr. Parker in there so you can get a good idea. So basically small, medium, and large. So let's get these guys out of here for a second. Let's take a good look at Molten Man's articulation if we can, which is done in really interesting ways. It's a lot of swivels and ball pegs. Swivels and ball pegs. So the foot does have the rocker, and it does have the ankle pivot. He does have a weird swivel here, which is connected to the joint here. Now, if you can see, the joint is in there. So that's about the range of motion you're getting up and back. That is really about it. He does have the swivel here. He does have the cut in the area there. He's got 3 points of articulation in the torso. This is a soft rubber, so you can really get a good bend on him, which is nice. And as you can kind of see, some of the plastic is a little translucent, which is very cool. So if you know anybody that works with LEDs, or you yourself work with LEDs, you can probably put some in there and get that glowing molten look, which would be super cool. This is a separate piece that you plug in. Now let's dive into this arm's articulation here. He does have the upsy downsies and the spinzaroonie. He's got the bend here, which comes to about there. That's it, but it is on a swivel yet again, as you can see, so it spins. He does have a swivel here, ball peg here, and here. Head is on a ball peg, can get you about yay up, not so much down, not too much turning either, but it just looks, that looks wicked. I mean, it's just so kind of gross and evil looking. I really, really like it. Now let's look at the big oversized oafish arm. Here, let me help you with my good hand. Upsy downsy, spinzaroonie. Mine pops off pretty easy here. Is what it is. I'm not gonna it's not a deal breaker. It does get to a good range of motion here, as you can see. About here. And it is also on a spinner. It can go all the way around, and you can kind of connect it here to make it look like a big molten mess. Or you could even spin it this way, or that way, or whatever, whatever way you want. It looks like. This arm piece spins here, as you can see. We are on a ball peg here, so we got a great range of motion up and down and open and close. And that really breaks down the articulation for the Molten Man. And as you can see, the sculpting work on it is really, really cool. I mean, I think Hasbro did a really good job on this one. Like I said, at first I was kind of like, meh. But after having it in my hands, after messing around with it, it's really an interesting and fun and cool Build-A-Figure. So, I mean, I think they did a good job. I'm not really too mad anymore. Like I said, after playing with it, the thing's pretty awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a thumb up and a half. The only thing that would have made it better is maybe another arm, so it didn't always have to have the big goofy arm, but I guess, for shelf life, for presentation, it looks cool. So, thumb and a half on that Build-A-Figure, and that wraps up the MCU portion of the Spider-Man Far From Home wave. That's it. That wraps it up. There are 4 comic book figures in the wave that I will be reviewing this week. We do have, of course, Hydro Man, Scorpion, Doppelganger, and Spider-Woman. So, those will be coming to you guys this week. But Molten Man, he's a hit, and I think even after the movie, I think it makes it a little more desirable. After you see him in action and you're like, wow, he's pretty cool, and you see the figure. Like I said, I don't think my camera or my lights even do it justice. I mean, this is one of those ones that you got to have in your hand, you got to play with, and you will realize how amazingly fun it is. For Stuff and Things, this has been Goldy. Keep watching. For all my wacky Stuff and Things misadventures, be sure to check me out on Facebook and Instagram. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching Stuff and Things!
This is Stuff and Things.